Hello there, welcome to another Swig in Steve's Bargain Beer Reviews. And what have we got today? Feldschlösschen. There we go, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a lager from Germany. I think it's pretty much I think it's brewed in Germany too. And it's 4.5%. 4.5%. And it came in at 99 pence. 99 pence at Asda. So I'm quite looking forward to this. I've never tried this lager before, so I am quite excited. And if this is nice, I'm definitely going to go back and pick some more up. I do love lagers and pilsners that are brewed in Germany, I must admit. Just looking at the spider plants, like I'm being intruded by Mother Nature. We've got a few, not spider plants, cheese plants. We're trying to grow. We had one big cheese plant that my wife picked up. She keeps getting cuttings off it. And every time she gets cuttings, she sticks it in a tub like this, and it ends up growing. So we've got loads of cheese plants. Anyway, I do digress. So yeah, what a summer, blooming heck! I've got right dab on. Saying that, I'm just sweating. Blooming heck! But this year, it's been a good summer so far, hasn't it? I mean, look at England, what a performance. Let's talk about England football just before we start. I'm not going to digress too much here. First and foremost, fantastic. They made me really proud this summer, that football team. I don't care what anybody says, don't care what anybody's opinion or slant is on this. That team did absolutely fantastic. Gareth Southgate did a brilliant job. Now, we could criticise he did wrong decision right at the end, or he put the wrong players on, blah blah blah. He got us to a final. Something we've never done since '66, something we've never done in Euros, full stop. And it's got to be commended. So please, anybody, don't take any notice at newspapers, don't take any notice at media. I don't watch news anymore. And do you know what? My life's better for it, because they just don't know what they're talking about. They just dwell on negatives. And one thing I will say is, before we even go into the racist thing, right? Before we start stepping into racist stuff, because I'm not going to bang on about that, as disgusting as it is, because I think it is. But the fans, the English football fans, are disgusting. All right, on the whole. Now, I'm not talking about people that go out there and are really respectful, that have YouTube channels and blah blah blah. Because I've watched a few YouTube channels and they're really respectful. They still go out to them people. Don't go out to the majority. But we do have a problem with English football fans. Let's be honest. Let's put it out there. It were cringing against Denmark, to be honest with you, when we were playing at Wembley and when Denmark were singing their national anthem and they were just booing over the top of it. And if anything, that's going to make Denmark think, right, let's get these guys. Let's really get them. You know, it's going to rile them up even further. Why would you do that? Be respectful. Just be respectful. And I do feel like this thing with a certain minority of football fans, there's just no respect. Just absolutely no respect at all. And you don't tend to get it as much you do get it in other sports, but you don't get it as bad. You don't get it as bad as you do in football. Now, that football team, let's be honest, as a nation, we struggle at team sports. We're good at individuals. We've got Andy Murray, who's a brilliant tennis player, the most successful tennis player we've had in ages. We've got, and I know he's injured in that at the moment, and I was going to make a comment about that, but he's done brilliant. We've got Lewis Hamilton, who's arguably, and you can argue all day long, I think he's our most successful sporting athlete of all time, right? You can argue with me about this and the other, yeah. I'm not on about like his actual fitness levels or anything like that, but as an athlete, an all-round athlete, the most successful athlete we've ever had from this country, right? And as individuals, we have a lot of individuals. You look at the Olympic Games, and we have individual cyclists, we have individual trampolinists, gymnasts now that are getting gold medals, unbelievable swimmers. And as individuals, we've always been good at sports, but as teams, we've always struggled. We've always struggled, at least to a certain extent, especially in football. We saw it in rugby, we got to rugby final, and it's almost like we struggle with that plan B. It's almost like we do so well and then we just can't quite hold it out there. But I'm going to put that one side, actually. This England team that went from being semi-finalists at World Cup to being finalists at Euro Cup, that's one step above. Now, you might say, well, Euro Cup and World Cup. But actually, the best teams in the world at the moment are European football teams. You look at all the teams that have won the World Cup in the last few years are all European. So as far as I'm concerned, it's as good as World Cup. For ability and difficulty, shall we say, difficulty. So they got to the final, and that team of players, which half of them black players, maybe more, right? Just be respectful, for God's sake. Why have we got to descend into racism? I don't get it. And it's it's a low level of intelligence that goes to that. It's like, I'm really annoyed England have lost, I'm going to be racist. And that's the mentality of these people. And those black players that went and took those penalties, right, they're heroes. Because nobody else went up there. Where were Grealish? You know, he didn't go up and take a penalty, did he? Where was Stones? He didn't go up and take a penalty. No, it were black players that went forward and said, yeah, I'll do that. There weren't any English players coming forward that were white. It were black football players. So remember that. If there's people that are watching this that are on, or borderline racist, if there's such a thing, or racist, just think about that, right? They're the best team we've had while I've been alive. While I've been alive, that's the best football team we've had, okay? And whether they're black, whether they're white, whether they're other colours, I don't actually care. They're the best team we have ever had as Great Britain, and that's how they should be treated. That's all I'm going to say on the matter, okay? That's all I'm going to say on the matter. I'm not going to talk about penalties and how they missed and all this sort of stuff. All I'm going to say is they were absolutely brilliant this tournament. And yes, there's areas they can improve on. Yes, there's things they can do better. But that's it. That's all I'm saying on it. So I'm sorry I've digressed a little bit there. Well done, Lewis Hamilton, by the way, this weekend at Silverstone. Yeah, coming first. Now he's going to get. He's saying he's had loads of racial assaults now because he knocked Max Verstappen on it. Yes, it probably was his fault. He did get a time penalty for that, but it was arguably a racing incident as well because Max Verstappen weren't giving him much space. So probably 60-40 Hamilton, you know. And again, it's like, come on. They think they're trying to make these decisions at 1,000,000 miles per hour, and yeah, there is going to be mistakes. You look what Senna did. Senna did some reckless driving to get people off it. Look what he did against Prost. Again, I digress. But anyway, listen, this racism nonsense. It's just, we've got to get with times, right? We don't live in black and white days anymore. We don't live in olden days, right? We live in a cultural society where we are mixed race. We are not necessarily mixed race as such, but we're a mixed culture, however you want to call it. And this is how it is, and this is what most cultures in Europe are, and across the world for that matter. So anyway, I've gone off on a little tangent there, and I know like some people will be like, oh, what have you done that for? What have you done that for? I just felt like I need to get it off my chest because it just really frustrated me. It really frustrated me that them players, especially for football, did so well. They did so well, and it's just going to be remembered for idiots. And it's sad, and hopefully it won't be. Hopefully it won't be, and hopefully, Sancho and I don't even know the squad. And Marcus Rashford, weren't it? Was Sancho his name? Hopefully they'll just forget about that and just remember, well, we got to the final. That's it. It is what it is. Missed a penalty, big deal. People do it all the time. Other teams have done it and gone on to win World Cup. You look at France; they lost when they held Euros in France, and then went on to win World Cup following year. So there we go. So again, I apologise for digressing. Look at this for a bottle cap. Look at that. Now that's what I call a top class bottle cap. Okay. Right, so yes. I don't like to read what's on. I'm not reading the description of the beer. I don't think there is one anyway. Sorry, we're already 8 minutes in. I do apologise, people. Do apologise. It's very rarely I have a rant these days. I just get straight on with it. So it's a straw-coloured lager. We're getting slight little, herbal aromas from that. Slight lemon. A little bit of a metallic note from the head. But yeah. Looks nice and fresh. The bubbles are quite lively, but they're going up relatively gently up that glass. Can't wait to get into this. Cheers. A very, very light lager. I could imagine a lot of people liking this, especially people that just like to drink lager. Very light, very light. There's a maltiness coming through. There's a slight citrus on the back end, but it's not too sweet. It's not too hoppy. It's not too bitter. It's just really easy to drink. It tastes fresh. It tastes fresh. This is what you get from Germany. You get this lovely fresh sort of, yeah, like it's pure. You get a pureness from their beers. This tastes pure. And you can see how easily it gets sunk on a hot day like today. God, yeah, sorry. Yeah, looks nice. It's nice, fresh. The carbonation's a little bit more gentle now. And for 99p, can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. It's not the best German lager I've had, but it's certainly not a bad one. It's all just really refreshing. It's just light. It's really light. You can hardly take. There's not a lot to pick up on it. It's just the balance of carbonation is nice. There's a little sweetness on the back end, and a little bit of it, like I say, a little bit of a bitterness that comes from like a sauce, hot or something. Slight sort of salty pepperiness on the back end. I just think it's really nice. Yeah, sometimes that sharpness, it's almost a little bit like salt, if you know what I mean, or pepper and saltiness that sometimes these beers can be described as, especially in British beers. You don't generally get those sort of flavour profiles, but also in lagers like this I always find. And that's it. Not much more to say. Yeah, it's like it's biting my tongue a little bit. I'm getting little stings on my tongue from the hop coming through, which is nice. It's nice and pleasant, but it's not much. There's not much there. There's not much there at all, really. Let's finish it off. Let's see what it says. So, AG Dresden, Germany, produced in France. Oh, so maybe it's not made in Germany after all. Hergstelt in Frankreich. Yeah. Prodota in Francia. Yeah, beer, Sankspier. So ingredients are barley, malt, hop extract. It's a bit of a shame. Hop extract. Maybe that's why I'm not getting the full beer flavours coming through. Maybe because it's using hop extract rather than full hops. A lot of big breweries do. You know, a lot of the big hop big breweries just use hop extract or hop oils or whatever. What else are we getting on here? Yeah. Produced in France. 500ml. I think it's lovely. It's lovely for this sort of weather. For 99p, you can't go wrong. And like I say, yeah, it's weird because I did say it was fresh, but there is almost like, I don't know, there is almost like a little bit of a, and I'm wondering if it's just because I've read it now, a bit of a hoppy note that is a little bit artificial, shall we say, contrived maybe. It's almost like it's yeah, it's like a sharpness that's sometimes pleasant, but it's almost like if I had too much of this, maybe it'd become unpleasant. That's by no means a bad beer. It's very nice actually, very drinkable, very light. If I put this up against something like Carlin or Budweiser or Kronenberg or blooming Beck's now, gosh, I'd go for this for 99p. 99p, so I'll definitely pick some more of that up for 99p. Do I like it as much as Tyskie? No, I think I prefer the Tyskie better. I had the other day, and Mau beer. President Mao. Someone said it on my messages when I reviewed it. Imagine you pronouncing Chairman Mao from China. That's how you pronounce it, Mao. So Mao beer. So That weren't bad, a Spanish one. If you want to check that out, I did this review the other day. So scores on the board, we're at when am I playing this one? 15 minutes, gosh, 15 minutes, sorry. I apologise for this one, I keep apologising, don't I? You don't have to watch my videos, you know what I mean? But, yeah, I'm going to give that a... for 99p? 99p? Give it a swab. Very nice. 7.8 out of 10. It's very good. Very good. I'm tempted. Is it an 8? Is it excellent? Not quite excellent. Not a great deal to it. But for 99 pence, it's very refreshing, and I'd certainly pick those up again. 7.8 out of 10. Thanks for watching. It's like the key sort of score range, in it. 7.8 to 7. 7.8 to 8. Sorry, it's like my key area. But there's a lot of beers around that sort of market, that sort of score range. I can't get my words out, sorry. Thanks for watching. I know it took a little while there. Please comment below, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about football if you want to, but tell me what you think about the beer if you've drunk this before. And tell me if there's another version or an alternative version, like a dark version or whatever. And I'll see you on the next review. Thanks for watching. Bye.